Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Live at the Whiskey Lounge. This is the November, 13th? Holy cow, and it's snowing? Ouch. Yeah, I know. Yeah, right. My name is Steve Rashid. I'm the host here for the Whiskey Lounge, for the Live at the Whiskey Lounge series. We're here every Thursday. This is a bit of a milestone. This is our 35th show, we realize, this evening. Thank you. We've been here every week. Thank you. We've been here every week since March 20th, every single Thursday. So thanks so much for coming and joining us and braving the cold this evening. We hope a few more trickle in, but thanks to these brave souls that have made it here. We're going to get started with the music in just a second, but I thought I would take a minute and just tell you a little bit about how the series works, what's coming up, and what you can expect. We do treat this as a house concert in a club, so for that I do ask your kind attention when the musicians are performing. I don't think we're going to have a problem tonight. You seem like a pretty well-behaved crowd, but that's good. That's good.
They haven't had their drinks yet.
Yeah, that's right. We'll wait till round two. But in addition to that, we do actually, you'll see what looks like a lot of gratuitous technology here. There are a lot of microphones, and these little guys, these are cameras. We are actually recording. We record every single show. We do a multi-track recording like we would do in the recording studio, and we use these cameras to do a live live streaming on the internet. And so we, of course, hope you're here every single week. If you can't be here, you're welcome to stream from any device you happen to have, a computer, a mobile device. We have a website, and it's listed on the back here. It's called steverashidpresents.com. And if you go there, you can just click on it, and you can watch it. You could watch me live right now if you care to. On a slight delay. So I'll look a little younger and fresher, and I was way more foolish back then. But we do this recording, and the recording is for archival purposes. The musicians have access to it, and the streaming, of course, is for anybody to view anywhere in the world, and also for the musicians to have access to afterwards. They can cut it up and use it for their promotional purposes. So it serves several purposes. You'll see these little table cards. You are welcome to take them. We print these up fairly regularly. I just printed these up today, and they have the schedule through the end of the year now. We won't have a show on Christmas, nor will we have one on Thanksgiving. But the rest of the days through the end of the year are listed. You'll see they're all Thursdays, with the exception of one Wednesday, which is an event that we're doing in partnership with WDCB. The great Bobby Broom will be here with Dennis Carroll, and we're actually they're going to be right here on a Wednesday night, just the way we do the Whiskey Lounge on Thursdays, but it'll be Wednesday, and we'll be recording that for broadcast later on WDCB. So exactly the same thing we're doing here tonight, except it will be edited and broadcast later. Next week, we've got a real powerhouse of Ron Dewar, Dennis Luxon, and Jim Cox, three real kind of all-star Chicago jazz all-stars that don't really perform together as a trio, but they will be put together as a trio and performing here next week. So that should be a really, really great night. So each week is something a little different, everything from 1920s jazz, and I was told earlier by Bob that we have Benny Moten's birthday today. Bob, what did you say? Was it 125th? Benny Moten's 125th birthday? 125th birthday of Benny Moten, great Kansas City jazz man who helped spawn several careers, including Count Basie's. Happy birthday, Benny. Yeah, he's not doing so well, but we do wish him well. So I don't think we have any Benny Moten tunes, but maybe we can get some old we got some Bernie Moten tune that we'll do. I'm going to get out of the way here. I will be back later. We're going to talk with Andy and Petra. I know you're here this evening to see the great Petra Van Nuis and Andy Brown. You may have heard them this morning on WDCB on the morning shift. They did a great job there, and we're looking forward to having them here. They're old friends of mine. Dear old pals. They're my neighbors. And Petra, you probably don't remember this, but you actually named this series.
Yes, I do remember that.
Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
So Live at the Whiskey Lounge is because that was Petra's idea.
Thank you so much.
So these guys are the best. I just love them to death, and I love their music. And I'm going to get out of the way and stop talking, let them do their thing. I'll be back later to talk with them. Thank you so much for coming out. Thanks for supporting live music. It means the world to us. And talk to you later. Here's Andy and Petra.
'cause your mama's all alone. I have tried in vain, never no more to call your name. And when you left, you broke your baby's heart. But that should never make us part. For every hour in the day, you're gonna hear me say, baby, won't you please come home? Oh, baby, won't you please come home? Baby, baby, won't you please come home? 'Cause your mama's all alone. And I have tried in vain, never no more to call your name. And when you left, you broke my heart. But that should never make us part. For every hour in the day, you're gonna hear me say, baby, won't you please come home? Baby, won't you please come home? Oh, baby, baby, won't you please come on home? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming out. That was an old Bessie Smith number. And we don't have any Benny Moten tunes, but we will do something that was written a really long time ago. This is one of the oldest tunes we do. This song, I believe, was written in 1911. This was Sophie Tucker's big hit, Some of These Days. See.
The Cubs still hadn't won the World Series.
See. Some of these days you're gonna miss me, honey. Some of these days you're gonna miss my money. You'll miss my hugging, you'll miss my kissing, you'll miss me, honey. When I'm away, well, I feel so lonely, just for you only. You know, honey, you've had your way. And when you leave me, you know it's gonna grieve me. You'll miss your little baby, yes. Some of these days you're gonna miss me. You're gonna miss me, honey. Some of these days you're gonna miss my money. You'll miss my hugging, you'll miss my kissing, you'll miss me, honey. When I'm away, well, I feel so lonely, just for you only. You know, honey, that you've had your way. And when you leave me, you know it's gonna grieve me. You'll miss your little baby, yes, some of these days. gonna miss me. You're gonna miss me, honey. Some of these days you're gonna miss my money. You'll miss my hugging. You'll miss my kissing. You'll miss me, honey. When I'm away, I feel so lonely. Just for you only. 'Cause you know, honey, that you've had your way. And when you leave me, you know it's gonna grieve me. You'll miss your little baby, yeah, some of these days. And when you leave me, you know it's gonna grieve me. You'll miss your little baby, yes, some of these days. Yeah. All right. That goes in the category of revenge songs, and we have several. Yeah, it's one of our favorite categories of songs. They don't write a good revenge song anymore. That was kind of an older thing, a revenge song, but we got to bring it back. We'd like to do a gorgeous ballad for you right now. This is a song that I think it's supposed to be about love, romantic love, but I think of it in a way about a love of music, and it's called But Beautiful, and it's kind of how better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all, or something like that. It's kind of there's a lot of hardships in love, but even with all those hardships, you want to keep on keeping on, because the ultimate result is beautiful, even when things are rough. So I sometimes think of this in relation to being an artist. Yeah, to my career in jazz. No, but seriously, I think, sometimes things can take different turns, but ultimately, when you do something and you love it, or you love a person, it's a beautiful thing with all the elements. Love is funny, or it's sad, or it's quiet, or it's mad. It's a good thing, or it's bad, but beautiful. Beautiful to take a chance, and if you fall, you fall. And I'm thinking that I wouldn't mind at all. Love is tearful, or it's gay. It's a problem, or it's play. It's a heartache, either way, but beautiful. And I'm thinking, if you were mine, I'd never let you go. And that would be but beautiful, beautiful. I know. it's gay. It's a problem or it's play. It's a heartache either way, but beautiful. And I'm thinking, if you were mine, I'd never let you go. And that would be but beautiful. That would be but beautiful. And that would be but beautiful. Beautiful. I know. Thank you. Thank you so much.
They did give the guitar player a microphone, so I should talk. I should say something. Petra, that was beautiful.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Andy.
That's right, folks. It's a husband and wife act at your service. That's right. That's right.
Yes, we do deserve that more. No. That's right.
Hey, maybe I deserve it.
You know what we all deserve in this cold weather? A vacation.
That's right.
James just went on vacation. Was it nice to get out of town, James? Yes. James was in Istanbul.
Nice.
Unbelievable. We don't need to go that far, but just maybe somewhere a little warmer. What if we did that old Frank Sinatra, Tommy Dorsey hit, Let's Get Away From It All, in A? Let's take a boat to Bermuda. Let's take a train to St. Paul. Let's take a kayak to Quincy or Nyack. Let's get away from it all. Let's take a trip in a trailer. No need to come back at all. Let's take a powder to Boston for chowder. Let's get away from it all. We'll travel round from town to town. We'll visit every state. I'll repeat that I love you, sweet, in all the 48. Oh, let's go again to Niagara. This time we'll look at those falls. Let's leave our hut, dear, get out of our rut, dear. Let's get away from it all. take a boat to Bermuda. Let's take a train to St. Paul. Let's take a kayak to Quincy or Nyack. Let's get away from it all. Let's take a trip in a trailer. No need to come back at all. Let's take a powder to Boston for chowder. Let's get away from it all. We'll travel round from town to town. We'll visit every state. I'll repeat that I love you, sweet, in all the 48. Oh, let's go again to Niagara. This time we'll look at those falls. Let's leave our hut, dear, get out of our rut, dear. Let's get away from it all. Let's get away from it all. Oh, let's get away from it all. Yeah. Thank you. I was at a gig recently and I was corrected on that song, and I remembered it the second time around. Chowda. A person from Boston was there and they said, you take a powder for some chowda. I was like, okay, well, I'll remember that. I haven't really spent much time in Boston, so just using my imagination. Let us do the end of a level thing, or try to remember. Okay. D flat. Okay. Yeah, okay. You know what? We're going to do an autumn song. This is from one of my very favorite musicals. This is from actually the longest running off-Broadway musical, The Fantastics. Thank you. Yes, I know. I love that. I love that show. And this song opens the show. I saw it in New York in Greenwich Village several times, and this beautiful song opens the show. And to me, it's a very poignant song and a very autumnal song. This is called "Try to Remember." Indeed. Try to remember the kind of September when life was slow and oh so mellow. Try to remember the kind of September when grass was green and grain was yellow. Try to remember the kind of September when you were a tender and callow fellow. Try to remember, and if you remember, then follow. Try to remember when life was so tender that no one wept except the willow. Try to remember when life was so tender that dreams were cats beside your pillow. Try to remember when life was so tender that love was an ember about to billow. Try to remember, and if you remember, then follow. Deep in December, it's nice to remember. Although you know the snow will follow. Deep in December, it's nice to remember. Without a hurt, the heart is hollow. Deep in December, it's nice to remember the fire of September that made us mellow. Deep in December, our hearts should remember and follow. And follow. And follow. Thank you. Yeah, do it.
I'm going to talk. Darn it. I got this mic. Here I go.
Why
Here
don't
I
you
go.
sing something for us?
When I
Andy?
sing something, I'm going to sing something, darn it. Yeah. I'm getting a mic when I play with this guy. Come on. Hey, folks, great singer in the house. Give it up. That's Paul Marinaro right here.
Yay.
Yeah, Paul. Brian Gephardt in the house, folks. Wow, it's a cast of characters. Brian Gephardt. I should have practiced.
It's a cavalcade of stars.
Darn it. I was getting up early for other reasons. We're going to do a fun Billie Holiday tune. This is a tune I wanted to learn for years. And we do it with our band. We have a larger ensemble called the Recession 7 that has 3 of Chicago's finest horn players in it. And we like to do this tune with that band. So I will now attempt to take the place of 6 people as we pare this down. This is, like I said, an old Billie Holiday tune, a little thing called Swing, Brother, Swing.
Yeah, and do you know who encouraged us to learn this? I mean, not that we didn't want to learn it anyway, but Paul Marinaro. He kept bugging me, saying, "Why don't you learn this song? Why don't you learn this song, Paul?" Deep rhythm captivates me, hot rhythm stimulates me. I can't help but swing it, boys. Swing, brother, swing. I don't stop to diddle daddle. Stop that foolish prattle. Come on, swing the gate. Swing, brother, swing. Well, I'm raring to go, and there ain't nobody gonna hold me down. Hey, listen, Bo, hurry up. Sam, let me go to town. Stop that diddle daddle and that foolish prattle. Come on, kill me, boys. Swing, brother, swing. makes me hot, rhythm stimulates me. I can't help but swing it, boys, swing, brother, swing. Don't stop to diddle-daddle, stop that foolish prattle. Come on, swing me gates, swing, brother, swing. Well, I'm raring to go, and there ain't nobody gonna hold me down. Hey, listen, Bo, hurry up, let me go to town. Stop that diddle-daddle and that foolish prattle. Come on, swing me, boys, swing, brother, swing. Swing, brother, swing. Swing, brother, swing. Yeah. Thank you. So I walk a little too far. Off the belly holiday. You got it. Speak it up, dog. I don't know. Who cares?
Okay, we're on a roll now. We're getting hot. We're going to do another Billie Holiday tune. So we hope you enjoy this one, The End of a Love Affair.
D flat. So I walk a little too fast. I drive a little too fast. I'm reckless, it's true, but what else can you do at the end of a love affair? So I talk a little too much. I laugh a little too much. And my voice is too loud when I'm out in a crowd, so that people are apt to stare. Do they know, do they care that it's only that I'm lonely and low as can be? And the smile on my face isn't really a smile at all. So I smoke a little too much. I joke a little too much. And the tunes I request are not always the best, but the ones where the trumpets blare. So I go at a maddening pace, and I pretend that it's taking his place. But what else can you do at the end of a love affair? Trumpets blare, so I go at a maddening pace, and I pretend that it's taking his place. But what else can you do at the end of a love affair? Yes, what else can you do at the end of a love affair? Thank you. I say more Billie Holiday tunes. I hope you're with me. We'd like to do one now called You're a Lucky Guy. I'd like to dedicate this to you, Andy.
She always looks at me exactly when she introduces that one. It's funny. I am lucky. It's true. It is true.
It's part of my stage moves. Don't make fun of me. I like it. You're a lucky guy when you consider the highest bidder can by the gleam in your eye. You're a lucky guy. Thank your lucky stars. You got a honey who wants no money. She'll take you just as you are. Thank your lucky star. Hey fella, say fella, don't you realize it's fated you rated? Open up your eyes. You're a lucky guy. You're just beginning, so have your inning and live right up till you die. No one can deny you're a lucky guy. You're a lucky, lucky guy. When you consider the highest bidder can by the gleam in your eye. You're a lucky guy. Thank your lucky stars. You got a honey who wants no money. She'll take you just as you are. Thank your lucky star. Say fella, hey fella, look at what you've done. You've rated, it's fated, you are number one. You're a lucky guy. You're just beginning, so have your inning and live right up till you die. No one can deny that you're a lucky, lucky guy. Consider the highest bidder can by the gleam in your eye. You're a lucky guy. Thank your lucky star. You got a honey who wants no money. She'll take you just as you are. Thank your lucky star. Hey fella, say fella, don't you realize it's fated, you rated? Open up your eyes. You're a lucky guy. You're just beginning, so have your inning and live right up till you die. No one can deny you're a lucky guy, and no one can deny that you're a lucky, lucky guy. Okay, one more song that we associate with Billie Holiday. I actually also associate this with the great Chicago pianist, singer, Miss Audrey Morris. Paul and I are both fans of Audrey's, and I don't know how many times I've heard Audrey sing this next song, but it always moves me every time. It's called You've Changed. A flat. You've changed. That sparkle in your eye is gone. Your smile is just a careless yawn. You're breaking my heart. You've changed. You've changed. Your kisses now are so blasé. You're bored with me in every way. I can't understand. You've changed. You've forgotten the words I love you. Each memory that we share, you ignore every star above you. I can't realize you ever cared. You've changed. You're not the angel I once knew. No need to tell me that we're through. It's all over now. You've changed. You've forgotten the words I love you. Each memory that we share, you ignore every star above you. I can't realize you change. You're still the angel that I adore. Come cuddle in my arms once more, like you did before. touched. Thank you. Thank you. I hate to put you on the spot, Andy, but I think it might be that time. Andy's going to play a solo piece for you, ladies and gentlemen. How about it for Andy Brown on the guitar?
All right, thank you. I'm going to do a song. I've been told I play too many old songs. So I'm, trying to bring it up to date. I've made it now to the 1960s, ladies and gentlemen, 1960s. Here we go.
was just telling Steve that your dad would be so proud. Andy's dad is always saying, why do you do all those old love songs? Why don't you do anything from my time? So, there it is.
Dad, this was for you. Modern stuff from the 60s.
Yeah, that's right. Isn't that funny? Right, we all think of modern as 50, 60 years ago.
Exactly. Wow, that dates me too. You can see that I snuck up here with Petra. I had I feel like I've been with you guys all day long because I kind of have been. These guys were on WBEZ this morning on the morning shift, and I went with them downtown, and we really had a great time. And it was fun hanging together and fun chatting, and we've known each other for quite a while. And you know, one thing I was thinking about, and actually I was thinking this before you played that so beautifully. I was thinking I often ask people. Well, first a couple things like how they got together, and that's how the group got together. And you guys have a unique story because you're husband and wife, and you told some of that story this morning. But maybe for some of the people who maybe don't know you, we could touch on that a little bit. But I also am curious about something we've never talked about, which is what are some of your musical influences that aren't jazz influences?
I'm looking to Andy.
I mean, or let me put that a different way.
I'm just an old fogey. I think the only, maybe kind of what led into jazz is I grew up doing dancing and musicals. So I guess I would answer that with, I love all the old musicals, the Rodgers and Hammerstein, the Lerner and Loewe, all that stuff.
So still great American songbook stuff, but maybe not the jazz versions of them?
Exactly.
So, and was that the first music that you listened to? I mean, presumably, for most people, and I certainly can count myself among them, who are jazz musicians, they didn't begin as jazz musicians. They began listening to other music, and then something brought them to jazz.
Right. My parents were strange. My parents weren't like Andy's dad. We didn't have any Bob Dylan. I didn't even know who Bob Dylan was or anything from the 60s. I have a huge gap, 60s and 70s, nothing. But my dad was a classical piano player, pianist, and he also worked at the Baldwin Piano Factory in Cincinnati, and he tuned and rebuilt pianos. So all that music was classical music. And then my mom liked show tunes and Frank Sinatra and Edie Gourmet and all that stuff. So I heard that kind of thing around the house.
So both classical music and just pop music of their day.
Yeah, older pop music, exactly.
Got it. So. Andy, how about you? I know a little bit about your history, but
I started when I started playing the guitar. It was I got really into blues guitar, So I started with like Eric Clapton and Jimi Hendrix, and then moved into Stevie Ray Vaughan, and then B.B. King and Freddie King, and then even earlier stuff, T-Bone Walker and guys like that. And then sort of the more I got into earlier blues, I started to hear some. Rhythm and blues like Louis Jordan and Nat Cole and things like that, and of course Charlie Christian, the first electric guitarist that played with Benny Goodman. I started to kind of bridge the gap.
So that's where the transition started to happen for you.
Yeah, that's where it happened, and then my ear. It took me a while because I used to hear jazz and I had no relationship to it emotionally, but. For me, like other music I'm influenced by, especially starting with blues, is like anything that has a real strong emotional commitment behind it, anything that you can feel the soul. There's of course music that has more overt soul, like blues or soul music, and I love all that music, but it took me a long time, my ear, eventually you start to hear the soul in like Debussy, or Bach or something like that, and like where you might have heard it as a kid and just be like, oh man, that's boring. You start to get hip to what's going on in the music, and so really like anything that's good you're influenced by nowadays. You know what I mean? Anything, or for me, anything I hear that just is good, then it influences you. And
so once you got into stuff like Louis Jordan and some of that era, where did you go jazz-wise then?
I actually stopped playing the guitar and started playing the saxophone.
Are you serious?
Yep.
I did not know that.
Because I just heard the great saxophone players like Ben Webster and Lester Young and Coleman Hawkins, and I figured there's no way to do that on the guitar, and that's the sound and the vibe and the soul that I really like. So I had played in the high school band and the junior high, so I knew how to play. So I quit playing guitar. I had a little tendonitis problem too, and I just laid off the guitar for about a year and just played the saxophone. I actually went, my one horrific year of music college was on the saxophone.
Really?
Yeah, at the conservatory. And once my ear got tuned into jazz, then I started to hear the great jazz guitarists, like Wes Montgomery was the first, and Joe Pass and Barney Kessel and some of the great local players in Cincinnati. And then I realized, okay, you can do some of that on the guitar.
Right, right.
But
So-
that soul that's in Ben Webster and Lester Young and all the great horn players, I mean, that's jazz for me, you know.
Right,
That feel.
right. Yeah, at some point the line gets really blurry, you know, between all that stuff, and it sort of defies category.
I mean, the classic Duke Ellington and others said there's only two kinds of music, good and bad.
Right.
And I mean, the older you get, the more you realize that's 100% true.
Right,
You know,
right.
doesn't matter. I mean, there's tons of good music that I don't know about or Petra, because, you know, there's a lot of things going on today that I wouldn't relate to or know about, but
But Andy you have a really eclectic musical tastes and playlists on your iPod. Sometimes I hear Andy, and it goes from rap to flamenco to, I mean, you're finding
I
the
like
good in everything.
movie soundtracks, even
Me
like
too.
some new age music sometimes,
Totally,
like
I'm
space
into new
music.
age
You know?
Yeah,
I just like to mellow out with that.
yeah.
But you know, anything good, pop music. I mean, you know, you when you get into jazz, you get like this militaristic stance of like, okay, jazz or else, you know,
Right,
jazz or die.
right.
And I mean, it does teach you a lot about music, and so you can't help but become slightly a snob, you know, because you know about music. You know
Right.
what music is, you know. So once you know what music is, you know, then it's like if you know what a fine meal is, and somebody gives you like some, you know, really good like cheeseburger. I mean, you're like, yeah, it's great, but
Right.
it's still a cheeseburger.
You know, you're talking about playing saxophone in high school. That's a bit of a segue into how you guys have known each other since high school, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Could you? This is the second time today you've told the story, but would you mind for the people who don't know?
Can I
you
tell
just
it?
go-
I've been
Yes,
talking a
you
lot.
Go ahead.
tell it.
Yeah,
I
you tell
always
it.
tell it.
I mean, the funny thing is we've known each other a long time, but it really doesn't seem like a long time. I mean, it's
It's true.
in any kind of relationship, your relationship with music, your relationship with your instrument, with people, with your friends. I mean, it's not like a thing that you're keeping track of the time, you know?
Right.
So we did meet like 25 years ago in high school history, you know, American history class, and I was the new kid in the school, and she was looking for fresh meat and all that stuff.
She
All the
actually
stuff-
said that on the radio today.
And I quote, fresh meat.
She called him fresh meat on the radio, and I was in the control room.
But she didn't say that she'd been going to it was a performing arts high school, or it was a performing arts school in Cincinnati, and they had
It
been,
was 6 a.m,
They-
people.
they had
What do
all-
you want from me?
all the kids had been going there since the 4th grade.
Yeah.
So I
Yes.
didn't start till my junior year of high school, so that
Uh-huh.
hence the freshness of the meat.
I see. Did
But
you?
We just hit it off, and you know what I mean. Like you and Andy. I mean, it's like I don't know. You know, it does. The longer it goes on, the more it seems like an impressive number. But I mean, it's sort of corny or whatever. But I mean, it's just day by day. You wake
Right.
up, you sort of, you know, you want to be with the person, so you are.
Right. Exactly.
Other than that, there's no time frame that's really going on in
There
my
was
mind, anyway.
I usually ask for your favorite musician jokes, and I was reminded of. I was reminded as you're talking about that. I was reminded of a joke I heard recently. It's not a musician joke, but it's it was an old married couple had been married for 65 years. You know this joke?
Keep it
Hey,
going.
all right,
Keep
so-
it going.
This couple's been married for 65 years, and they're being interviewed about the longevity of their marriage. And the husband says, "Well, we made a pact on the day we got married that she would make all the small decisions and I would make all the big decisions. And thankfully, we've never had to make a big decision."
That's pretty good.
There you go.
Luckily,
There
though,
you
it
go.
does work out that way. Everything that I'm bad at, he's good at, and vice versa. So I don't know. It just seemed to happen. So we got lucky.
Yeah, yeah. So when you met in high school, were you then was that the point at which you were playing saxophone?
Yeah, and I had just started playing. I mean, I grew up in a small town in upstate New York, and my parents split up, and my mom was from the Cincinnati area, so she wanted to go back, and I was sort of on the fence, but I said, hey, if you can find like a performing arts school, I'll go. I just started playing guitar, and I thought that would be cool. And I mean, I always liked cities and wanted to live in a bigger city, and Cincinnati was like Paris compared to the town I live in. So.
Wow, I've been to Cincinnati.
Yeah, I mean,
That's a
it's great.
statement. That's a statement right there.
Well,
Andy has low expectations and is very easily impressed.
no, Cincinnati's great. I mean, and it was so I had just started playing guitar, so this was actually like maybe the best thing that ever happened to me in my entire life. I mean, I met Petra first, and then this school was a great school. I mean, it sort of was like fame, you know, like, you know, it was kids singing and dancing. There was no sports. It was all dancers and actors and actresses and musicians and creative writers and a lot of great sort of world famous people that we've all seen on TV, and we've bought their music. They went to this school, and they had really, really great different things. They were very racially mixed. It was sort of in the inner city, and it was about 50%, you know, African American, and that was a great life experience for everyone that went there. I mean, of course, we spent the rest of our lives trying to have an experience like that, but it was great. I mean, the whole scene, it was like walking into a, you know, like a dream. And so I got to do a ton of music there. I got to do all kinds of music and do music for shows and put together. You know, we did a tribute to Martin Luther King, and I put all the music together. We did all this old blues music and all kinds of stuff. So I mean, it was maybe like the best thing that ever happened to me was getting out of this little town and going to Cincinnati and getting the music. So I was doing blues and on the guitar mostly at that time.
Yeah, the school truly was a utopia. I mean, it was just a beautiful place where it was just such a model. I think about it all the time with all the problems going on in the Chicago public schools. It's like, bring in the arts. I mean, everyone got along. You learned about discipline. You didn't learn about American history, I must admit that. But I did learn about Andy. And and it was just a beautiful place. I mean, really, everyone really came together, and we got there early, we stayed late. I mean, it was just, we lived there.
Yeah,
it was
when you get
fun.
a community like that.
Yeah, it really was. It was a very artistic community, and I love that place. Everything that good that happened to me really did come from there. So it was an example of a public school. It was a public school, and it was the middle of the worst neighborhood in Cincinnati, and you know, we got along in the neighborhood. They used to take us walking from school through like the really scary neighborhood that no one would go down to. There was the music hall was near us, so we would march through the neighborhood, and everyone like knew us and was nice to us, and it was just really beautiful place, and it still exists. So that's very nice.
Wow. Well, and we're glad you're in our community now.
Yeah, me too.
This is really great. Fellow Evanstonians, by the way.
Yes.
So that's great.
Almost. Well, we're on the border.
And yeah, exactly. They're kind of half in Evanston.
Yes.
So. But the half that we really like. I don't even know what that means. Would you guys do one more tune? One more tune? And then take a little break, and then they'll come back. So stick around, please do. Again, take those cards with you if you like. We got stuff every week. It's a little different every week. Sometimes vocalist, sometimes instrumentalist. Next week is an instrumental trio. Gosh, there's all kinds of stuff. Brian Gephardt will be here. This actually is not on the card. It will be here December 9th. Is that Brian? Just found out this evening he will be here December 9th doing on the 50th anniversary of was it the recording or the release? The recording of A Love Supreme, John Coltrane's famous recording, and they'll be recreating that recording downstairs.
Wow.
On the larger stage. But all kinds of stuff, and the great Paul Marinaro is here, so we're hoping to have him back sometime soon too. And Andy and Petra will do another one here, take a break, and then come back. Thanks again for coming out on a cold, cold night and supporting live music. It means the world to us. It's how we make a living, and you're helping. So thanks very much.
We're going to end this set with one more modern tune. Andy did his Bob Dylan tune, and this is the most modern song that I do. The great Judy Roberts, who was here a few weeks ago here at the Whiskey Lounge, actually came to my house and she taught me this song. She played it for me on the piano and sang it and recorded it, and I listened to it and stole it from her. This is a Dusty Springfield tune from the 60s. This is called Easy Evil. You're such an easy evil. You're such a sensuous sin. Sometimes I don't know what I'm doing till I've been taken in. You're such an easy evil. You're such a promise of fun. Sometimes I don't know what I am doing till I'm done. You're a sneaky one. There you go now, touching me, calling my name again. There I go now, I'm like a moth to a flame. I'm a puppet for you, baby. You're such an easy evil. You're such a sensuous sin. Sometimes I don't know what I am doing till I've been taken in. You're such an easy evil. You are such a sensuous sin. Sometimes I don't know what I am doing till I've been taken in. You're such an easy evil. Such a promise of fun. Sometimes I don't know what I am doing till I'm done. You're a sneaky one. There you go now, touching me, calling my name again. There I go now, I'm like a moth to a flame. I'm a puppet for you, baby. You're such an easy, easy evil. You're such a sensuous sin. Sometimes I don't know what I am doing till I've been taken in. Till I have been taken in. You're easy, evil. You're so easy. You're an easy, evil, easy, 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 evil. Thank you. Thank you so much. We're going to take a little break and be right back. Thank you. thank you so much for sticking around. We're going to kick things off. Thank you. For our second set with a Fats Waller tune. We've been listening to some Fats Waller, courtesy of Steve Rashid here. So we've been inspired. This is one that I like because I think the title is rather funny. It's Keeping Out of Mischief Now. So just for now, I'm keeping out of mischief. 5 minutes from now, I can't promise, but just for right now. Keeping out of mischief now. Really am in love, and how I'm through playing with fire. It is you whom I desire, and all the world can plainly see. You're the only one for me. I have told them in advance they can't break up our romance. I'm living up to every vow, and I am keeping out of mischief now. Recently been watching on YouTube. I was telling Steve about it. There's a really great Fats Waller documentary that someone put up, and there's no date on it in the description, but it looks like it's maybe from the 70s, and the main person who's talking about Fats is actually his own son, who looks almost exactly like him, by the way. And it's great because there's a lot of remembrances from the son and from other musicians, so it's a very personal documentary, and then there's a lot of great movie clips of him singing and playing, and he was such a master and made it look so easy and so fun. So if you just look up Fats Waller documentary, I honestly can't remember the name of it, I'm sorry to say, but I think it's the only one, so you won't miss it. We've had a request, and we've had a good request, and we've had the happy accident of having a request of a song that I wanted to sing anyway. Thank you, Stephanie. Stephanie here is very hip. She'd like to hear a Rodgers and Hart song. This is called Everything I've Got Belongs to You. This is a song about marriage. We were talking earlier about marriage, and yep, and it's a rather, I don't know how you would describe it, Stephanie, a funny song about marriage, kind of everything I've got belongs to you, and that means everything. The good, the bad, and the ugly. B flat. Come on, fresh meat, play it. I've got eyes for you to give you dirty looks. I've got words that do not come from children's books. There's a trick with a knife that I'm learning to do, and everything Everything I've got belongs to you. I've a powerful anesthesia in my fist, and the perfect wrist to give your neck a twist. There are hammer-lock holds, I've mastered a few, and everything I've got belongs to you. Share for share, share alike. You get struck each time I strike. Me for you, you for me. I'll give you plenty of nothing. I'm not yours for better, but for worse. And I've learned to give that well-known witch's curse. I have a terrible tongue and a temper for two, and everything I've got belongs to you. From children's books. There's a trick with a knife that I'm learning to do, and everything I've got belongs to you. I've a powerful anesthesia in my fist, and the perfect wrist to give your neck a twist. There are hammerlock holds, well, I've mastered a few, and everything I've got belongs to you. Then at night we'll sleep and sleep, sleep and sleep and sleep and sleep, sleep and sleep, sleep and sleep. I'll give you plenty of nothing. I'm not yours for better, but for worse. And I've learned to give that well-known witch's curse. I've a terrible tongue and a temper for two, and everything I've got, ooh, it's not a lot, yes. Everything I've got belongs to you. Better watch out. Thank you so much. We'd like to continue now with something that Andy recorded on his first CD, which was a half trio, guitar trio, and half solo guitar, and aptly named Trio and Solo. That was aptly named. Very creative. I don't know how he came up with it. I think, unfortunately, I came up with it. But we'd like to do a tune that he recorded on that I always think of also as a tune that Stan Getz made famous, and both of those versions obviously were instrumental, but the lyrics are really interesting. This is a tune written by a man named Ord Hamilton, and to my knowledge, he hasn't written anything else. I'm sure he did, but not that I've ever come across. This is called You're Blasé. Two flats. You're deep, just like a chasm. You've no enthusiasm. You're tired, you're uninspired. blasé. Your day is one of leisure in which you search for pleasure. You're bored when you're adored. You're blasé. While reaching for the moon and the stars up in the sky, the simple things of normal life are slowly passing by. You sleep. The sun is shining. You wake, it's time for dining. There's nothing new for you to do. You're blasé. Reaching for the moon and the stars up in the sky, the simple things of normal life are slowly passing by. You sleep. The sun is shining. You wake. It's time for dining. There's nothing new for you to do. You're blasé. Thank you. While we're in the mood for some strange songs and some more obscure songs, thank you, by the way, for indulging us. We like to pull out all the funny stuff when we're here and people are listening. Sometimes all those great lyrics get lost when you're at a restaurant in the background or something, and this is nice to have you actually hanging on the lyrics. We like to do a tune. We were talking last set about the great Chicago legendary singer and pianist, Miss Audrey Morris, and we like to do a tune that I stole from her and from Blossom Dearie. This is a tune that Cy Coleman wrote, and I love all of Cy Coleman's things. And speaking of YouTube, there's some fantastic clips of Cy Coleman at the Playboy Club. He was a frequent guest, I guess, on the show, and singing and playing piano, and he had such hip songs like Witchcraft and Hey Look Me Over, and wrote all those tunes for Frank Sinatra, and also wrote for a lot of Broadway shows. So this is one of his tunes called You Fascinate Me So, and this is a tune about attraction to someone who's a little holier than thou, a little aloof. A flat. That's how I want to hear it. I have a feeling that beneath the little halo on your noble head, there lies a thought or two the devil might be interested to know. You're like the finish of a novel that I'll finally have to take to bed. You fascinate me so. I feel like Christopher Columbus when I'm near enough to contemplate the sweet geography descending from your eyebrow to your toe. The possibilities are more than I can possibly enumerate, and that's why you fascinate me so, so. Sermonize and preach to me. Make your sanctimonious little speech to me. But oh, my darling, you'll forgive my inability to concentrate. I feel I'm dealing with a powder keg that's just about to blow. Will the end result deflate me, or will you annihilate me? You fascinate me so. So sermonize and preach to me. Make your sanctimonious little speech to me. But oh, my darling, you'll forgive my inability to concentrate. I feel I'm dealing with a powder keg that's just about to blow. Will the end result deflate me, or will you annihilate me? You aggravate me, you irritate me, you fascinate me so. Thank you so much. We haven't done any Brazilian material, any bossa novas, which is an oversight. Yes, Andy always especially likes to do all that stuff. What about How Insensitive? This is an Antonio Carlos Jobim tune. A minor. sensitive. I must have seemed when he told me that he loved me. How unmoved and cold I must have seemed when he told me so sincerely. Why he must have asked, did I just turn and stare in icy silence? What was I to say? What can you say when a love affair is over? Now he's gone away, and I'm alone with the memory of his last look, vague and drawn and sad. I see it still, all the heartbreak in that last look. How he must have asked, could I just turn and stare in icy silence? What was I to do? What can one do when a love affair is over? It's over. It's over. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to bring up a fellow singer, someone who also enjoys depressing songs. Mr. Paul Marinaro's in the house. How about it for Paul? I'd love it if he could sing for us. We got the Godfather.
No. We'll have to work something up. A couple more drinks. Petra, after that last over that you sang that broke all of our hearts, I better not do anything depressing.
I know, I agree. That's why I brought you up, because I wanted to be depressing.
It was beautiful, though. Let's see. It is. We can do an hour of that stuff. We can just keep getting sadder and sadder and sadder. Devil May Care. You like that one? E minor. Well, we're going to do something that's not depressing. Cares for me, I'm happy as I can be. I've learned to love and to live, devil may care. No blues or woes, whatever comes later goes. That's why I'll take and I'll give, devil may care. And when the day is through, I suffer no regrets. I know that he who frets loses the night. For only a fool dreams he can hold back the dawn. Well, he who is wise never tries to revise what's dead and gone. Live, love today, come what tomorrow, what may. Well, don't even stop for a sigh. It doesn't help if you cry. That's why I'll live and I'll die. A devil may care, no cares for me. I am happy as I can be. I've learned to love and to live. Devil may care, no blues or woes. Whatever comes later goes. That's why I'll take and I'll give. Devil may care. And when the day is through, I suffer no regrets. I know that he who frets will lose his night. For only a fool dreams he can hold back the dawn. Well, he who is wise never tries to revise what's dead and gone. Live, love today, come what tomorrow, what may. Don't even stop for a sigh. It doesn't help if you cry. Well, that's why I'll live and I'll die. Devil may care. Cares for me. I am happy as I can be. I've learned to love and to live. Devil may care. No blues or woes. Whatever comes later goes. That's why I'll take and I'll give. Devil may care. And when the day is through, I suffer no regrets. I know that he who frets, he loses the night. For only a fool dreams he can hold back the dawn. Well, he who is wise never tries to revise what's dead and gone. Live love today, come what tomorrow. stop for a sigh. It doesn't help if you cry. That's why I'll live and I'll die. Devil may care. Devil may care. Devil may care. Devil may care. Thank you very much. Actually, I have to admit that we recorded that one together last year, and I had not been aware of too many versions of that, but I actually stole that from you, Petra, if I have to be honest.
You know what?
That's on it. We're all stealing, but that was the first time I heard that song, was your recording of that. I suppose I'm doing another? You're not motioning your way back up to the stage. Well, I'll checking out some fresh meat. Well, Andy and I do a song that I have not heard anyone else do. So we're going to do, it's a song that's on a favorite Frank Sinatra album of both Andy and myself. And this one's been kind of a forgotten tune. I think it's B flat? Or whatever you think.
I don't think
That sounds good. That sounds good. With the Gordon Jenkins intro.
you got it. Let's see.
Stagehand, I love it. Each time I see a crowd of people, just like a fool, I stop and stare. It's not the time or place to look for you, but maybe you'll be there. I go out walking after midnight along the lonely thoroughfare. It's really not the proper thing to do, but maybe you'll be there. You said your arms would always hold me. You said your lips were mine alone to kiss. Now after all those things you told me, how can it end like this? Someday if all my prayers are answered, I'll hear a footstep on the stair. With anxious heart, I'll hurry to the door, and maybe you'll be there. You said your arms would always hold me. You said your lips were mine alone to kiss. Now after all those things you told me, how can it end like this? Someday if all my prayers are answered, I'll hear a footstep on the stair. With anxious heart, I'll hurry to the door, and maybe you'll be there. Andy Brown, another sad one. Petra Van Nuis.
We could have almost done it together, yeah. That'd be a great duet song. That would be. That's Paul Marinaro. That was beautiful. Very nice. And Paul, I'm sure we'll be back here at the Whiskey Lounge. He was here a few weeks ago. And 3 weeks ago, and he'll be back, I'm sure, in 2015. So mark your calendars now. Yeah, maybe he'll be. We like to continue with Cole Porter's "My Heart Belongs to Daddy." I like it. While tearing off a game of golf, I may make a play for the caddy, but when I do, I don't follow through, 'cause my heart belongs to Daddy. If I invite a boy some night to dine on my fine Finn and Hattie, I just adore his asking for more, but my heart belongs to Daddy. Yes, my heart belongs to Daddy, so I simply could not be bad. My heart belongs to Daddy, dad, 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 dad. I want to warn you, laddie, though I think you're perfectly swell, that my heart belongs to Daddy, 'cause my daddy, he treats it so St. Patrick's Day, although I may be seen wearing green with a patty, I'm always sharp when playing the harp, 'cause my heart belongs to Daddy. Though other dames at football games may long for a strong undergraddie, I I never dream of making the team, 'cause my heart belongs to Daddy. Yes, my heart belongs to Daddy, so I simply could not be bad. My heart belongs to Daddy. Dad, 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 dad. I want to warn you, laddie, though I simply hate to be frank, that I can't be mean to Daddy, or my daddy might spank. Yes, my daddy might spank. So my heart belongs to Daddy. Beat me, Daddy. A to the bar. Yeah. Thank you. Lazy bone or sweet substitute? Which one? Lazy bone. Okay. Okay. Is that right? Okay. We, speaking of Benny Moten, we have a tune written by Jelly Roll Morton. This is an old one. This is called Sweet Substitute. This is what happens when your man goes away and you find someone maybe even better. E flat. Don't go on tour. My man went away. He said I would miss him every night and day. I got so lonesome, I just had to look around. You ought to see just what I found. Sweet substitute. Sweet substitute. He tells me that he's mine, all mine. Does everything I tell him. Love is blind. He's got such loving ways, loving ways. My heart is in a daze. My new recruit, he's mighty, mighty cute. I'm crazy, crazy about my substitute. Don't want no regular. I'm crazy about my substitute. Substitute. Sweet substitute. He tells me that he is mine, all mine. Does everything I tell him. Love is blind. He's got such loving ways. My head is in a daze. My new recruit, he is so mighty cute. I'm crazy about my substitute. I don't want no regular. No, I'm crazy about my substitute. Don't want no regular. I'm crazy. I'm crazy about my substitute. so much. I think that might about just do it for us, unless you have one more idea, Andy. Me? Yeah, you. You. I could. God. Yeah, let me do a prayer. Oh, God. This is in the key of F. That much I know. The rest we'll find out. Okay. This is a great tune. Blossom Dearie is one of our very favorites. Fantastic singer and pianist. And really had her heyday in maybe the 50s. But she played up until her 80s, which was not so long ago. Andy and I lived in New York briefly before we moved here. And I had the pleasure of going to see Blossom Dearie play several times. She was fantastic. Her voice hadn't changed a bit. It was amazing. She had that light little girlish tone, so very cute sounding, but very appealing and cute and sexy at the same time. And this was one of her hits. It's called Rhode Island is Famous for You.
That's why your husband requested it. That's why your husband requested it.
Just come from Georgia. Lobsters come from Maine. Copper comes from Arizona. Peaches come from Georgia. Lobsters come from Maine. The wheat fields are the sweet fields of Nebraska. And Kansas gets bonanzas from the grain. Old whiskey comes from old Kentucky. Ain't the country lucky? And New Jersey gives us glue. And you come from Rhode Island, little old Rhode Island. It is famous for you. Cotton comes from Louisiana. Gophers from Montana. Spuds from Idaho. They plow lands in the cowlands of Missouri, where most beef meant for roast beef seems to grow. Grand Canyons come from Colorado. Gold comes from Nevada. Divorce is also due. And you come from Rhode Island. Little old Rhode Island is famous for you. Pencils come from Pennsylvania. Vests from West Virginia. Tents from Tennessee. They know mink where they grow mink in Wyoming. A camp chair from New Hampshire, that's for me. And minnows come from Minnesota. Coats come from Dakota. But why should you be blue when you come from Rhode Island? Don't let them ride Rhode Island. It's famous for you. You come from Rhode Island. Don't let them ride Rhode Island. It's famous for you. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming.
Petra Van Nuis, Andy Brown.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thanks to Paul Marinaro for sitting in. What a great treat that was. And thanks to all of you for coming out on a cold, cold night. Thanks for supporting live music here in Evanston. It really means a lot to us. Well, I know. I know. We'll start getting used to it, and then it'll come in droves. But thanks a lot for coming. And do take these cards with you. I do have a mailing list. I promise you I don't spam you. I don't share my list. If you want to get on the mailing list, get on that, and I will send you a weekly email list, a weekly email little newsletter, and it gives you a little update, usually with something to click on. You can click on and hear a little sample of who's coming up in the weeks to come. So, and that's about it. Thanks very much. Next week, Dennis Luxem, Ron Dewar, and Jim Cox, an incredible kind of trifecta of all-stars of Chicago jazz. So come back and join us then. And thanks for supporting live music in Evanston. And thanks once again to Andy and Petra.
Thank you, Steve.
Anyway, thanks.
We'll be
Have a
back
good night.
next week.
Yeah.